Welcome to Headphone News, Montreal edition for Monday, November 18th, 2024.
Canada to compensate Inuit for historical sled dog slaughter. On November 17, 2024, the Canadian government announced plans to compensate Inuit in Nunavik, a region in northern Quebec, for the mass slaughter of sled dogs that took place between the 1950s and 1960s. Over 1,000 sled dogs, which played a crucial role in hunting and transportation, were killed during this time. Crown Indigenous Relations Minister Gary Annan de Sangary will travel to Nunavik this month to issue a formal apology. This announcement comes after the Quebec government compensated former sled dog owners with $3 million Canadian dollars in 2011. The new compensation aims to provide some measure of healing for the Inuit community, addressing the profound impact of this historical injustice.
John Horgan's legacy in sports and politics. John Horgan, the 36th Premier of British Columbia, combined his love for sports with a successful political career. In 2017, Horgan met Andrew Weaver, leader of the British Columbia Greens, during a rugby match. This meeting resulted in an agreement that allowed Horgan's new Democratic Party, NDP, to form a minority government, ending 16 years of control by the British Columbia Liberals. Sadly, Horgan passed away from thyroid cancer on November 12, 2024, at the age of 65. He was well known for wearing his Victoria Shamrocks lacrosse team hat with pride around the world. Horgan believed in the power of sports to bring communities together. He actively supported significant events like the upcoming 2025 Invictus Games and the 2026 FIFA World Cup. Plans for a memorial service are underway, and a book of condolences has been established for the public to share their memories.
Part 1 Québécois questions new Santé Quebec agency amid budget concerns. The Part 1 Québécois is raising questions about the need for the new Santé Quebec agency, which will officially begin operations on December 1, 2024. Leader Paul Saint-Pierre Plamondon voiced concerns that this agency could result in significant budget cuts to healthcare, potentially decreasing funding by $1 billion Canadian dollars, or about $1.34 billion US dollars. In a recent meeting in Victoriaville, Quebec, Party members emphasized the need to assess the agency's role before making any changes. The meeting also considered proposals to remove tax benefits for incorporated doctors, which could upset the medical community. These discussions reflect ongoing debates about how healthcare is managed and funded in Quebec.
Canada Post strike disrupts small businesses. The strike by 55,000 Canada Post workers is now into its third day, causing significant disruptions for small businesses across Canada. Lauren James, who owns a model train shop in Tillsonburg, Ontario, estimates daily losses around 10,000 Canadian dollars, which is about 7,400 United States dollars. With the busy holiday shopping season fast approaching, small retailers are worried about delivery delays that could hurt sales. Many customers may opt for larger retailers like Amazon for faster shipping options. Negotiations between Canada Post and the union are still underway, but there are currently no plans for government intervention.
Rising arson attacks in Montreal. Montreal, located in Quebec, Canada, is facing a concerning rise in arson attacks, with a total of 407 incidents reported in 2024. A tragic case occurred on October 4th, when a fire led to the deaths of a mother and her young daughter from France. Following this sad event, 2 individuals were arrested. Recently, 3 vehicles were also set ablaze in separate incidents, along with an apartment targeted by arsonists in the Montreal North area. Retired Detective Pietro Poletti noted that about 30 criminal groups are active in Montreal, fueling this alarming trend in crime. There are growing concerns about the trust between the community and law enforcement, leading to calls for improved communication and cooperation to tackle these issues. Residents are encouraged to report any suspicious activities to help restore safety in their neighborhoods.
Highlights of the 111th Grey Cup. The 111th Grey Cup took place on November 17, 2024, at BC Place in Vancouver, British Columbia. This championship game featured the Toronto Argonauts facing off against the Winnipeg Blue Bombers, who were favored to win by 9.5 points. The stadium was filled with enthusiastic fans proudly wearing their team colors and celebrating their love for Canadian football. The event included a performance by Owen Riegling, adding to the excitement before the game. The Grey Cup, as the top championship of the Canadian Football League, is not just a sports event, but also a significant cultural celebration in Canada, bringing together communities and supporting local businesses.
Man arrested after multiple business break-ins in Quebec. Early Sunday morning, Longueuil police apprehended a 28-year-old man suspected of breaking into 10 businesses. These incidents took place in Greenfield Park and St. Hubert, both located in Quebec, Canada, on Saturday night over a span of 2 hours. Authorities detained the suspect while he was riding a bicycle and may charge him with breaking and entering, possession of burglary tools, and drug possession. Investigators are exploring any connections the suspect may have to other recent break-ins in the area. Local residents are urged to share any information that could aid in this ongoing investigation.
Halifax Mooseheads defeats Val-d'Or Foreurs in exciting match. On November 17, 2024, the Halifax Mooseheads achieved a thrilling victory over the Val-d'Or Foreurs, winning 5-4 and breaking a 5-game losing streak. The game started fast, with Brady Schultz scoring just 1 minute in, giving Halifax an early advantage. Val-d'Or quickly evened the score with a goal from Nathan Harvey. Eddie Doyle helped Halifax regain the lead, but Nathan Brisson tied it again before the first period concluded. In a dynamic second period, Jan Spreiner and Liam Kilfoyle scored consecutive goals, boosting Halifax's lead to 4-2. Late in the second, Alexis Fortin of Val-d'Or brought the Foreurs within 1 goal. However, Jack Martin scored for Halifax in the third period, putting the Mooseheads up by 2. Val-d'Or's Noah Reinhardt responded with a goal, but Halifax held on to secure the win. This victory marked the Mooseheads' first win in Quebec this season. Halifax will head back home to face the Shawinigan Cataracts on Thursday.
Support for Toronto's Santa Claus Parade. The Toronto Santa Claus Parade is getting support from the government after facing a deficit of $250,000 Canadian dollars, which is about $182,000 US dollars. To help cover costs, parade organizers launched a GoFundMe campaign and raised around $72,000 Canadian dollars, or about $54,000 US dollars. Prime Minister Trudeau and Toronto Mayor Chow stressed the importance of this community event. The parade is scheduled for November 24, 2024, and will feature 26 floats and 18 marching bands. For the first time, it will also be live-streamed on YouTube for viewers who cannot attend in person.
Calgary RV residents concerned over permit expiration. Residents living in RVs along Moraine Road in Calgary, Alberta, are facing uncertainty as their temporary parking permits will expire on November 21, 2024. Many, including longtime resident Victor, express frustration over the lack of communication from the City of Calgary regarding future housing options. While city officials have discussed long-term solutions, no updates have been shared. Starting November 22, 2024, city crews will implement no parking rules to carry out essential road maintenance. This situation highlights broader concerns about affordable housing and the impending future for residents living in RVs.
Centaur Theatre in Montreal improves accessibility. Montreal's Centaur Theatre has achieved a major milestone in accessibility with the installation of a street-level elevator, making the historic venue accessible to all patrons for the first time in 56 years. This improvement was made possible by a generous donation from Marissa Testa, who dedicated the lift to her late husband, Tiziano Giacomini, who passed away 22 years ago. The theater also received a $6.2 million investment from federal and provincial governments for infrastructure upgrades. The new elevator enables individuals with mobility challenges to enter the theater easily. The Centaur Theatre aims to create an inclusive environment, ensuring that everyone can enjoy the performances.
Prince Harry surprises fans at Grey Cup in Vancouver. On November 17, 2024, Prince Harry made an unexpected appearance at the Grey Cup in Vancouver, British Columbia, Canada. Excited fans at the stadium cheered as the Duke of Sussex waved and interacted with the crowd. This event featured a thrilling matchup between the Toronto Argonauts and the Winnipeg Blue Bombers. Prince Harry attended to promote the upcoming Invictus Games, which will take place in February 2024. The Invictus Games, founded by Prince Harry, provide a platform for injured service members and veterans from around the world to compete in various sports. More than 500 athletes from 23 nations will participate, displaying their strength and resilience during these inspiring games.
Pepper spraying incident in Burnaby Mall. A pepper spraying incident took place at Metrotown Shopping Centre in Burnaby, British Columbia, Canada. Two bystanders, a man and a woman both aged 30, were treated after being accidentally sprayed with pepper spray during an altercation among 4 teenage boys. The Royal Canadian Mounted Police responded but arrived after the suspects had fled the scene. This incident reflects a troubling rise in pepper spraying cases in the area. Local officials are now considering new regulations on the sale and use of pepper spray to enhance public safety.
Truck rollover in North York injures driver. A truck rollover happened in North York, a district of Toronto, Ontario, Canada, on November 18, 2024, at around 10 p.m. A driver in his 30s was trapped inside and sustained life-threatening injuries. Emergency responders quickly rescued the driver and took him to the hospital, where he remains in critical condition. The police are currently investigating the cause of the accident. No other vehicles were involved in this incident, which raises important concerns about truck safety on busy city streets.
Toronto Argonauts win 111th Grey Cup. On November 17, 2024, the Toronto Argonauts triumphed over the Winnipeg Blue Bombers in the 111th Grey Cup Championship, finishing with a score of 41-24. The exciting game took place in Vancouver, British Columbia. Dijon Brissett was named Most Valuable Player for his outstanding performance, which included 3 receptions for 45 yards along with the game-winning touchdown. Quarterback Nick Arbuckle completed 26 passes out of 37 attempts, gaining 252 yards and throwing 2 touchdowns. This victory marked the Argonauts' 19th Grey Cup title and their second championship in 3 years. The event also featured a lively halftime show by the Jonas Brothers, enhancing the entertainment for fans.
That is all the news for today. Thank you for listening to today's Headphone News. News summary brought to you by AI.